this first lecture, I request moderators, Dr. Haresh Vastapada and Dr. Nilay Desai, to come on the stage. And I hand over the proceedings to moderators.
ડૉક્ટર રોમી શાહ MD DNB ર્યુમેટોલોજી, એમનું આ પહેલું લેક્ચર છે. એમનો સબ્જેક્ટ છે ર્યુમેટોલોજી ઇન કોમન ક્લિનિકલ પ્રેક્ટિસ. પ્લીઝ તેઓ પણ પ્લીઝ પ્રોસીડ અવર મોડરેટર્સ.
Good morning, everyone.
ગુડ મોર્નિંગ.
So we start with the first academic lecture of the day, and I will like to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Romi Shah. He is the first super specialist rheumatologist in South Gujarat region. He has passed from his MD from BJ Medical Ahmedabad and done his DNB rheumatology from renowned PD Hinduja Hospital under guidance of Dr. V.R. Joshi, who all we know is a stalwart in the field of rheumatology, Dr. Balakrishnan and Dr. Rohini Samant. He is practicing as a rheumatologist at AMI Rheumatology Clinic and attached to all major hospitals in Surat and South Gujarat region. He has published many papers in national and international journals and has spoke at many conferences. His primary interest lies in the areas of SLE and myositis, and he has also actively involved in many rheumatology awareness programs and patient teaching activities. So with this short introduction, I welcome Dr. Romi to give his talk.
Hello.
And I request all the audience to please switch off the mobile to the silent mode.
તમને તમારા ટેબલ ઉપર એક નાનું પેડ અને પેન પણ આપ્યા છે. તમને નોંધવા જેવી કેરી હોમ મેસેજ જેવી બાબતો નોંધી શકો છો. ક્વેરી હોય તો તે પણ નોંધી શકો છો. એ પછી આપણે એને સોર્ટ આઉટ પણ કરીશું.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Nilay sir, for a generous introduction. So, good morning, everybody, and thanks for sparing your valuable time for this Sunday morning. And thank you already for providing me this opportunity. So, basically, the rheumatology in common clinical practice, I just wanted to, the first thing is that wife and rheumatology are always confusing and difficult to understand. So, my wife's name is Ria. So I feel Ria and rheumatology are always difficult to understand and they are always confusing. So was wife's mindset. So we'll start with I would like to interactive session. So which of the following about RA factor is true? It is full form is rheumatoid arthritis factor. Rheumatoid factor should be ordered for any patients coming with joint pains. If rheumatoid factor is negative, then it rules out the diagnosis of rheumatoid arthritis. If rheumatoid factor is positive, it confirms the diagnosis of rheumatoid arthritis. And rheumatoid factor is non-specific for rheumatoid arthritis. It should be ordered for specific conditions only. So what is the answer? Any person from any specialty can say. What about option 1? Is it true or wrong? Actually, it is the common mistake, and it is not rheumatoid arthritis factor. It is a rheumatoid factor basically. So we all tends to write RA factor only, but it is a RF. It is a rheumatoid factor. It is a specific antibody against some IG portion of the body. It should be ordered. It should not be ordered. About second option, not for any patients coming with joint pains. It should be ordered in specific conditions only, when patient coming with some specific complaints that will come to know. And it has very less sensitivity and very less specificity for any rheumatological conditions. So it should not be ordered haphazardly. It should be ordered in specific conditions only. So the true option is rheumatoid factor is last option, is a non-specific for rheumatoid arthritis, and it should be ordered for specific conditions only. Which specific conditions will come to know. So this is the first and foremost symptoms. This is the early morning stiffness. So any patients coming with early morning stiffness for more than 1 hour, and he is telling that he is unable to close his fist in the morning, then female will say, I am not able to make the atta. સાહેબ આટો ગુંદવામાં તકલીફ પડે છે, બટન બંધ કરવામાં, જાર ખોલવામાં તકલીફ પડે છે, like any patient is telling you that he or she is having difficulty in closing fist or making the one button unbuttoning or something, closing the jars or opening the jars, it should prompt you the specific diagnosis of inflammatory arthritis. The early morning stiffness, it is a very common and very characteristic symptom. It should be asked specifically for each and every person. So early morning stiffness should be investigated for inflammatory arthritis. ESR and CRP, these are the very basic markers which should be done, which are called as acute phase reactants basically. They should be ordered for any patient you are suspecting inflammatory arthritis. Anti-CCP and rheumatoid factor should be done if appropriate with clinical background. So you should not be ordering laboratory tests haphazardly. You should be watching and you should specifically ask for the history. Somebody can have anti-CCP rheumatoid factor negative and have rheumatoid arthritis. Somebody can have anti-CCP rheumatoid factor both positive and they cannot have arthritis. So this is the main thing. So you should not be relying only on the laboratory parameters. They are just the confirmatory markers. So coming to the case, so 67-year female presented to me with polyarticular pain, multiple joint pain with swelling, and that was bilateral symmetrical with gradual onset involving both small joints of both hands, knees, shoulder and back. Her rheumatoid factor was positive, like 28 in a range of 20. So always normal range is very important actually in all the rheumatological laboratory parameters. And she was started on methotrexate and hydroxychloroquine, but she had no response. So how many of you think the diagnosis of rheumatoid arthritis was correct? Anybody can ask actually, it is like very common, so nothing to be ashamed of, like you can ask any queries at any point of time. So it was the mechanical pain and Heberden and Bouchard nodules. This was very characteristic hand picture, and she was told to by some another specialist that she is having rheumatoid arthritis and she is getting deformities. So she was advised to stop DMARDs basically. So rheumatological pictures can be confusing. How many of you know about this? So it was a rheumatoid arthritis. It was not a rheumatoid arthritis, it was osteoarthritis. So the picture can be misleading if not, history is not taken properly. So these were she was having mechanical symptoms with bony swelling, crepitus, and DIP and proximal interpharyngeal joint and distal interpharyngeal joints were involved. So it was a diagnosis of osteoarthritis. And osteoarthritis doesn't need any specific treatment basically. It is a degenerative disease. So all DMARDs were stopped, which are potentially toxic and potentially immunosuppressants. So case 2 was a 30-year male with 3 months history of intermittent painful joint swelling. કે સાહેબ ગમે ત્યારે કોઈ બી સાંધો પકડાઈ જાય છે. This is very characteristic complaint કે કોઈ બી at any point of time, any one joint getting affected and they give the specific history of swelling and tenderness in the joints. And he was taking NSAIDs, like painkillers, he was taking on and off. And he was evaluated. Rheumatoid factor was negative, so he was told that आप જ્યારે भी દુખાય ત્યારે દવા લઈ લેવાની દુખાવાની ગોળી. And that was like 3-4 months was going on. જાતે જાતે painkiller લઈ લેતા હતા ભાઈ, ને he was having partial relief only. Somebody suggested to take steroids also. તો steroid લીધા પછી બી relief ના થઈ એટલી બધી. એનાથી relief થાય ના થાય ચાલ્યા કરતું હતું. So he came to me and just history was characteristic of palindromic arthritis. જે ફરતો આ ગુજરાતીમાં કહેવાય કે જેવા ફર્યા કરે. Palindromic arthritis એટલે migratory arthritis જે કોઈ બી એક જોઈન્ટને કોઈ બી એક ટાઈમે અફેક્ટ કરે અને 3-4 દિવસમાં જતું રહે. So it is a very characteristic diagnosis of palindromic arthritis, and he was totally happy after that and was started on DMARDs. Next. So actually this is the very misconception in all the patients, that among many doctors. Sandhiva rheumatoid arthritis, it is only a just problem. It is not just a joint problem. This is very important, and like જ્યારે લોકો કોલેસ્ટ્રોલ બાબતે ચિંતિત હોય, આટલા બધા ડાયાબિટીસ માટે ચિંતા કરતા હોય, પણ nobody cares about rheumatoid arthritis specifically. લોકોને એવું લાગે કે આ તો ખાલી સાંધાની તકલીફ છે, શું થવાનું છે? ના, but it is not like that. Many studies have proven that it decreases the life survival up to 10 years. And the most common cause of death in rheumatoid arthritis is cardiovascular cause. એટલે પેશન્ટ હાર્ટ અટેકથી મરી જાય આરએનું પેશન્ટ બેઝિકલી, જો બરાબર ટ્રીટમેન્ટ ના આપવામાં આવે તો. Significant disability and significant functional disability also. કોઈ બી 30 વર્ષનું માણસ કોઈ ઘરે પડી હોય જોઈન્ટ પેઇન સાંધાના દુખાવાના કારણે, કમાયા વગર કે કંઈ કર્યા વગર, that is very depressing also, and it is a burden to the family members also. So another symptom is back pain. So I have finished that arthritis part, and the rheumatoid arthritis part. We'll come to the next topic of back pain. Which of the following is true about back pain? Long-standing back pain in young male is majority of the times is sciatica. HLA-B27 should be ordered for each patient with back pain. HLA-B27 is diagnostic of ankylosing spondylitis. And early morning stiffness more than 45 minutes and difficulty in changing side during the sleep suggests the diagnosis of AS. Anybody have any answers?
Audience, any answer?
ચા પીધી છે બધાએ?
Ah,
Any guess? Yes. જે સાચો આન્સર આપશે એને ગિફ્ટ આપશે. Yeah, it's obvious. The answer is, the fourth option is true. The misconception among the all is like long-standing back pain in young male. ઘણી વાર ધારી લેવામાં કે ભાઈ ગાદી ખસી ગઈ હશે, પ્રોલેપ્સ ઇન્ટરવર્ટિબ્રલ ડિસ્ક, પેશન્ટ ઓર્થો પાસે ફરે, બીજા કોઈ સર્જન પાસે ફરે, પણ that is the main cause of late diagnosis and not diagnosis of ankylosing spondylitis. Majority of the patient comes to us after the long-standing at least 5 years, 10 years symptoms duration. And ત્યાં સુધી તો પેશન્ટની આખી સ્પાઇન સ્ટીફ થઈ ગઈ હોય. So actually nothing can be done at that point of stage. If the AS was diagnosed at earlier stage, that could have helped the patient. So lower back pain, how to evaluate in your busy clinical practice? Just you can ask if early morning stiffness, patient ને પૂછવાનું કે સવારમાં જકડાઈ જાય છે કે નહીં કમર. સવારમાં જકડાઈ જાય છે તો એટલીસ્ટ ઇફ ઇઝ ઇટ મોર દેન 45 મિનિટ્સ, જો 45 મિનિટથી વધારે અકળાઈ જતી હોય કમર અને જકડાઈ જતી હોય તો ઇટ ઇઝ a very characteristic feature of inflammatory back pain. And commonly it is mistaken for spasm, sciatica, and the history of alternating buttock pain. Actually, the buttocks ma alternating buttocks. Initially, the patient tells કે left side દુખાતું હતું, પછી કે right side દુખાતું હતું, પાછું left side. એવું જ alternating buttock pain ની history હોય, that is very typical of ankylosing spondylitis. And the first line investigation is ESR and CRP. Now keep this thing in mind, not to order HLA-B27, which is a costly test, cost around 2000, and which has not that diagnostic importance. HLA-B27 positive આવે કે negative આવે, it doesn't matter practically કોઈ diagnosis કરવા માટે. So is important but not diagnostic of spondyloarthritis, and HLA-B27 negativity doesn't rule out the diagnosis of spondyloarthritis basically. So any back pain you should be asking for inflammatory nature of the back pain, which is early morning stiffness of more than 45 minutes. So if you can make out, this is the first X-ray, just pointer is not working actually. So the A is showing the clear sacroiliac joint, everybody can make out, and gradually it is showing the progression of the radiological progression. તમે જોઈ શકો છો SI જોઈન્ટની જે માર્જિન છે, સેક્રોઇલિયાક જોઈન્ટ એટલે જે સેક્રમ અને ઇલિયાક વચ્ચેનું જે માર્જિનનું છે, પહેલામાં એકદમ ક્લિયર છે S શેપની, then it is growing blood again and again. After the 3 years, 5 years, it totally fuses. So it is a radiographic progression of ankylosing spondylitis basically. It should not happen in an ideal clinical scenario. So most favorite topic I think, which of the following is true? Increase in uric acid is equal to gout. Patient presenting with generalized body pain should be investigated for uric acid level. So hyperuricemia, diet forms the mainstay treatment of the gout, and any rise in uric acid should be treated with febuxostate or allopurinol. અહીંયા એક ટ્રીક છે, છેલ્લે કહીશ. Anybody has any answers?
all learned members, please answer here. Make it interactive.
બ્રેકફાસ્ટ બહુ જ સરસ હતો, બધાએ સારું ખાધું જ છે, પણ આપણે મગજને પણ થોડું કામ આપીશું.
I think this topic touches the all speciality. I don't think not general practitioner, in all clinical day-to-day life also.
Yes, bhai.
No? Anybody else? મોદી સાહેબ આવ્યા પછી none of the above, નોટાનો ઓપ્શન છે સાહેબ આપણી પાસે. None of the above is true actually. So that's what I'm telling you. This is a trick here. So we'll come for each and one option one by one. So gout is the most common arthritis affecting the middle-aged male. The common presentation, and it has to be that, is the episodic monoarthritis. There has to be pain plus swelling, and gout is a very kind of, in rheumatology we have very few emergencies. The gout is among them. So patient calls at night time, sahib, jordar dukhav થાય છે, is not able to keep his feet in the bed also, like. And uric acid level may be low at the time of attack of arthritis. So patient આવે, ઘણીવાર patient cellulitis તરીકે treat થઈ જાય. Recently જે આવ્યું હતું કે એન્કલમાં painful swelling હતું, redness હતી, ને patient antibiotic operated, but he was not getting relief. The diagnosis was gout basically. But because the uric acid level surgeon had checked and it was normal, so he thought that it is not gout. But uric acid level has nothing to do with the diagnosis of gout. Third point, never ask for uric acid in any patient coming to with generalized body pain. કોઈ બી પેશન્ટ ઓપીડીમાં આવે ને કે અહીંયા ત્યાં દુખે છે, never ask for uric acid levels. It has nothing to do. Uric acid 7 હોય 17 હોય કે 70 હોય, doesn't matter. એનું કોઈ રિલેશન જોઈન્ટ પેઇન સાથે નથી. પેશન્ટને કહેવાનું કે તમને જોઈન્ટ પેઇન છે, તમારું યુરિક એસિડ વધારે છે, પણ તમારા યુરિક એસિડ લેવલ અને તમારા જોઈન્ટ પેઇનને કોઈ સંબંધ છે નહીં. પેશન્ટ બીજો સવાલ પૂછશે તો મને કેમ દુખે છે, યસ, આપણે કહેવાનું કે એની માટે તમારી બીજી તપાસ કરાવવી પડશે. Many times patient comes to us કે સાહેબ મારું યુરિક એસિડ વધારે છે, એ તો મારું યુરિક એસિડ વધારે છે, જસ્ટ દે ડોન્ટ લેટ હિસ્ટ્રી પણ નહીં પૂછવા દે, નહીં સાહેબ પણ મારું યુરિક એસિડ જુઓ ને કરીને એમ. તો ઇટ હેઝ નથિંગ ટુ ડુ વિથ ધ ડાયગ્નોસિસ ઓફ ગાઉટ. એ યુરિક એસિડ લેવલ વધી જાય એને જનરલાઇઝ બોડી પેઇન સાથે કોઈ સંબંધ છે નહીં. યુરિક એસિડ લેવલ મે બી એનીથિંગ, બરાબર. ગાઉટ ઇઝ અ ક્લિનિકલ ડાયગ્નોસિસ. ધ ક્લિનિકલ ડાયગ્નોસિસ ઇઝ એપિસોડિક મોનોઆર્થરાઇટિસ. 3-4 દિવસ દુખાવો થાય, સોજો થાય જબરદસ્ત, ઇટ સેલ્ફ રિઝોલ્વ્સ. બોડીની મિકેનિઝમ એવી છે ગાઉટની પેથોફિઝિયોલોજી પ્રમાણે, એ સેલ્ફ રિઝોલ્વિંગ કન્ડિશન છે. 3-4 દિવસમાં પેશન્ટને સારું થઈ જાય, એક ડાયક્લોફેનાક લે, એક બ્રુફેન લે, તરત સારું થઈ જાય. સો યુરિક એસિડ લેવલ હેઝ નો કોરિલેશન વિથ ધ ગાઉટ. અને યસ, મેઇન ઓપ્શન છે નહીં ચાલતું. So increasing uric acid level does not equal to the diagnosis of gout. It is called as asymptomatic hyperuricemia. Patient presenting with generalized body pain should not be investigated for hyperuricemia. And third option, actually diet has nothing to do with the increasing uric acid level. Vegetarian diet, actually I was at Mumbai, there are non-veg compared to Mumbai, Gujarat, we find less non-veg. મોટા ભાગના લોકો વાણિયા, જૈન, હિન્દુ, મેની આર મોસ્ટલી આર વેજીટેરિયન્સ. સો પેશન્ટને કોઈ બી પ્રકારનું ડાયટમાં રિસ્ટ્રિક્શન કહેવાની જરૂર છે નહીં. કોઈ કઠોળનું રિસ્ટ્રિક્શન નહીં, નો નથિંગ ડાયટ. પેશન્ટ જો પ્યુરિન રિસ્ટ્રિક્ટેડ ડાયટ, જે પ્યુરિનમાંથી યુરિક એસિડ બને બેઝિકલી, યુરિક એસિડ ઇઝ અ એન્ડ પ્રોડક્ટ ઓફ અવર મેટાબોલિઝમ ઓફ પ્યુરિન. સો ઇટ ઇઝ ધ નોર્મલ એસેન્શિયલ પાર્ટ ઓફ અવર બોડી. યુરિક એસિડનું બોડીમાં એન્ટીઓક્સિડન્ટનું ફંક્શન છે. યુરિક એસિડ લેવલ લેસ દેન 3 હોય પર્સિસ્ટન્ટલી, એટલે કે બહુ ઓછું હોય, તો ઇટ ઇન્ક્રીઝિસ ધ ચાન્સ ઓફ અલ્ઝાઇમર્સ એન્ડ ન્યુરોડિજનરેટિવ ડિઝીઝ. સો યુરિક એસિડ ઇઝ એન એન્ટીઓક્સિડન્ટ. એનું લેવલ યસ વધવું ના જોઈએ, પણ એવું બી નથી કે ભાઈ ઘટાડીને તમે ઓછું કરીને 0 લઈ જવાનું, એવું કંઈ છે નહીં. એટલે કોઈને બી યુરિક એસિડને વધેલું હોય તો ઇટ શુડ નોટ બી ટ્રીટેડ વિથ ફેબુક્સોસ્ટેટ ઓર એરોપેરિનોલ, ઝાયલોરિક, ફેબુરિક, ફેબુસ્ટેટ, કોઈ વસ્તુ આપવાની જરૂર છે નહીં. It should be treated, it should be given in us when the diagnosis of gout is confirmed. So we'll start with case, the 35-year female with BMI of 32, was slightly obese. She was presented to general practitioner with history of generalized body pain. And on examination there was bilateral trapezitis, which is very common. અહીંયા દુખે છે કરીને. અને યુરિક એસિડ 8.9 હતું. શું ડાયગ્નોસિસ લાગે આમાં? કેટલા કહેશે ગાઉટ છે આ? હવે તો કોઈ નહીં કે.
Audience, please raise your hands.
યસ સર, શ્યોર. આપણે લઈએ એકવાર. આમાં બીજું કોઈ? એક્ઝેક્ટલી. અને ફેબુક્સોસ્ટેટ કે એલોપેરિનોલ કંઈ આપવાની કે નહીં આપવાની? કેટલા જણા ના કહેશે? 30%. ઓકે, ચાલો જોઈએ. The diagnosis was asymptomatic hyperuricemia and fibromyalgia. Just uric acid BMI વધારે હોય. Uric acid is a condition called as metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome માં hypertension, diabetes, increase in triglyceride level and increase in uric acid level. આ બધું થાય. It is a part of metabolic syndrome only. And she was having fibromyalgia. That was non-specific pain. Here again the comes case, 34-year female presented with polyarthralgia. બધા સાંધા દુખે છે. Knee, low back pain, પણ કોઈ જગ્યા સ્વેલિંગ નહીં. આનું યુરિક એસિડ લેવલ 6.9 હતું અને એને કીધું કે ભાઈ ફેબુક્સોસેટ ચાલુ કરો. સાચું કે ખોટું? ખોટું. ઓકે, પણ પછી she had no relief in symptoms. She came to me. The typical history was history of significant weight gain and menstrual irregularities. TSH was done and the diagnosis was hypothyroid. So ask કે પેશન્ટ કે ભાઈ કેમ દુખે છે, તો આપણે તપાસવું પડે કે કેમ દુખે છે એના કારણો. યુ શુડ ટેક અ ડિટેલ હિસ્ટ્રી વાય સમબડી ઇઝ હેવિંગ પેઇન. ડોન્ટ રિગાર્ડ કે ભાઈ મસ્ક્યુલર એટલે ફાઇબ્રોમાઇલ્જિયા લેબલ કરતાં પહેલાં યુ શુડ બી રૂલિંગ આઉટ મેની કન્ડિશન્સ બેઝિકલી. એટલે થાઇરોઇડ હોય. યસ, આઈ એમ રનિંગ આઉટ ઓફ ટાઈમ. 5 minutes, yeah, we'll finish it. So it's a case, a 60-year male, severe pain and the swelling in the one knee only, single knee. No history of trauma and he was operated one day back for cholecystectomy and surgeon called me કે ભાઈ જો ને septic arthritis છે, referred to ortho called me. Physical examination, swelling and severe effusion in the knee and serum uric acid level was 6.1 and surgeon was fearing કે ભાઈ surgery પછી કઈ infection થયું, GA માં કઈ થયું, શું થઈ ગયું, અચાનક કેમ એક જણને પેઇન થઈ ગયું. And he was just, and actually antibiotics were already started. Diagnosis was here. He was sure કે ભાઈ uric acid level તો normal છે પણ gout નથી. Actually joint aspiration was done and showed uric acid crystal. The diagnosis was gout. કોઈ બી acute illness હોય, કોઈ acute condition હોય, patient અચાનકથી admit થાય, and gout is a diagnosis, is a condition in something acute condition. અચાનક fever આવી જાય, અચાનક heart failure પેશન્ટને diuretics ચાલુ કરો, એના કારણે કોઈ વાર અચાનક goutનો attack precipitate થઈ શકે. So the basic, this is the basic approach. Then the one important thing is mono is one. What should be the approach to arthralgia and arthritis? The mono is one joint, oligo is less than or equal to 4 joints, and polyarthritis means more than 4 joints. And the very important thing, many times our colleagues call us कि साहब आखा शरीर में पेन है जो ત્યાં છે. So many times it is arthralgia only. Arthralgia એટલે ખાલી joint pain છે. And the arthritis is when you are pressing somebody's joint and he or she is having tenderness. It is called as arthritis. So there is a huge difference and a significant difference from point of view of diagnosis, arthralgia and arthritis. We should keep this thing in the mind. So there are many differential diagnoses of polyarthritis which are resembling the actually arthritis. It's the thyroid, hyperparathyroid, diabetes, many paraneoplastic syndromes, infective endocarditis, sarcoidosis. This is a huge condition which should be ruled out before labeling somebody as fibromyalgia. So this is the actual when polyarthritis is there. Rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis can be polyarticular, and this is a huge differential which is like of more importance to the physician mainly, but is the differential I have given here. Many viruses actually give rise to the polyarthritis. Nowadays chikungunya, I think I have seen the very aggressive chikungunya this year and patients are not getting relief and we have to treat them as a rheumatoid arthritis only. Like they are having very severe viral arthritis, post-viral arthritis. So the first clue is identify the pain is inflammatory or mechanical pain, which come to know, and the second important point is to identify the pattern of joint involvement and symmetry is there or not. Other things which I have shown is the inflammatory back pain. Ask for any history of preceding infection. કે પહેલા કોઈ urinary infection હતું, diarrhea હતું કંઈ. Other multi-organ disease and fibromyalgia symptoms should be ruled out. The important point is identify and differentiate between the inflammatory and mechanical, and it is very confusing and it is the
I think your time is up.
Yes, madam. Okay.
It's 9:55.
Okay, madam. Just I'll finish it one slide. So
have 1
first
minute.
is
You have 1 minute, please.
okay, madam. Okay. Yes. So inflammatory is immobility and stiffness, and mechanical is a pain getting worse after the later day as the day passes. So it is a very important thing to rule out. This is the pattern of involvement of joint involvement. It's different in different diseases. So what should be your approach in the OPD? Identify it is arthralgia or arthritis and identify always the red flag symptoms. Somebody is an infection, malignancy and mimicker. You can always refer to rheumatologist basically. So dietary advice, just I have told you. Thank you. We have reached the final. I was the opening batsman, okay? Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
introducing.
Dr. Ashok Patel to felicitate our speaker, Dr. Romi sir.
ASK, ask. Always seek knowledge. Ask. ASK, ask. Always seek knowledge. Thank you for informative and interactive session.